6 o'clock, Mrs. Sebastian.
Welcome to the March 12, 2026 Parma City School District Board of Education regular meeting. At this time, I would like to invite, well, they're already here. Okay, so at this time, I would like our Densler Student Council to lead us in the pledge.
Ready? Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Stay there. Good evening, everyone. We're so happy to be here this evening. This is our Densler Student Council, made up of 24 students from grades 2 through 4. These students display leadership qualities and represent their classes well. Student Council is involved in many activities each year. This year, the 4th grade representatives spoke at our annual Veterans Day Assembly, explaining the different branches of the military. Students also collected and sorted canned foods for our PEA canned food drive. And before Election Day, all representatives made chocolate-covered pretzels for our annual Election Day bake sale. The profits earned were donated to VFW Post 572. Students have made holiday greeting cards for nursing homes and our very own Parma Senior Center. And just today, these students have organized and bundled positive notes for parents to send encouragement for our 3rd and 4th graders on their OST testing dates. So they're quite a busy group. And I'd like to acknowledge and thank Mrs. Paltani and Mrs. O'Malley, who've worked very hard with this group over the years, and they are the staff monitors for this group. So I want to take a picture. If I can get a picture. Good. And again, thank you to the Board of Education for having us. Great job, guys.
Thank you, Densler Student Council and staff. Thank you so much. We appreciate you. Roll call, please, Mr. Nucio.
Dr. Early,
Present.
Ms. Kerpick,
Present.
Mrs. McTaggart, Mrs. Sebastian,
Present.
Mr. Reyes.
Present.
Before we move into the agenda, I want to thank everyone for the time and preparation that goes into reviewing our materials in advance. The agenda and supporting documentation were distributed earlier this week via email to support thoughtful discussion and effective decision-making as a board. Adequate review helps us work efficiently together and ensures we're prepared for any action items this evening. This aligns with our board policy 0123, which reflects our shared commitment to being informed on the issues before us. With that in mind, can we confirm that all members have received and reviewed the materials for tonight's meeting? Roll call, please, Mr. Nucio.
Dr. Early,
Yes.
Ms. Kerpick,
Yes.
Mrs. Sebastian,
Yes.
Mr. Reyes.
Yes.
Thank you. I move to adopt Resolution 2026-03-120, approval of board meeting agenda.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to adopt Resolution 2026-03-120. Are there any questions or comments from the board? Roll call, please, Mr. Nucio.
Mrs. Sebastian,
Yes.
Ms. Kerpick,
Yes.
Dr. Early,
Yes.
Mr. Reyes.
Yes.
I move to adopt Resolution 2026-03-121, approval of the written record of proceedings from the February 26, 2026 special and regular Board of Education meetings.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to adopt Resolution 2026-03-121. Are there any questions or comments from the board? Roll call, please, Mr. Nucio.
Mrs. Sebastian,
Yes.
Ms. Kerpick,
Yes.
Dr. Early,
Yes.
Mr. Reyes.
Yes.
Resolution 2026-03-121 has been approved. Do we have any amendments?
Yes, we do. We have one amendment At the 5 o'clock meeting, the board discussed which emergency levies to stop collecting on and the amount of cuts over a 3-year period. So that's going to replace the resolution 2026-03144.
Thank you, Mr. Nucio. I move to adopt Resolution 2026-03-122, adoption of amendments.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to adopt Resolution 2026-03-122. Are there any questions or comments from the board? Roll call, please, Mr. Nucio.
Mrs. Sebastian,
Yes.
Ms. Kerpick,
Yes.
Dr. Early,
Yes.
Mr. Reyes.
Yes.
Resolution 2026-03-122 has been approved. That now takes us to business of the board. So this is Resolution 2026-03-123, board meeting time change resolution. I move to adopt Resolution 2020, I'm sorry, I read too much. I apologize. I move to adopt Resolution 2026-03-123, board meeting time change resolution.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to adopt Resolution 2026-03-123. Are there any questions or comments from the board?
Ms. Sebastian,
Yes, Mr. Reyes.
thank you. So I'm just curious, why are we changing to 5 p.m.?
Mrs. Sebastian, if I may.
Yes.
I had brought this up at our last meeting. Every meeting we've had this year has gone until 8 or 9 o'clock or later. And personally, that's really difficult for me. I have a young child at home. I just think due to the length of our meetings that it would make sense to move them up to be an hour earlier so we are able to conduct business at a better time for, I mean, I'm going to say myself and I believe the rest of our board, but also our community members who want to come and want to observe our meetings so they're not also sitting here until 8 or 9 o'clock at night.
Do you have a follow-up, Mr. Reyes?
Yes, I do. Thank you. So was any other consideration taken in for this resolution?
Mrs. Sebastian?
Yes.
Yes, I spoke to Dr. Hunt, to Mr. Nucio, and Dr. Cruz to ensure that the 5 o'clock start time would align with their schedules as well, and I received no pushback from them.
Can I speak, Mrs. Sebastian?
Yes.
So since the meeting, the organizational meeting, we approved the time and location of the meetings, in order to change it, we put this resolution on there for the times that are listed up there, and we figured if the board would like to discuss, want to approve this or they want to make some changes to this, they can at this time. So it's not set that it has to be 5 o'clock, but you can have a discussion now to change it if you want to change it to a different time. That's all I had.
Ms. Sebastian?
Yes.
Last week or the week before, I can't remember the exact date, I emailed the board in entirety expressing concern about the meetings, the length of the meetings, and how late into the evening specifically that they go. I also am a mother of young children, and the later evenings create a conflict for me. So I would be in support of moving the meeting up, whether it's even to 5:30, like 5:30, but anything we can shift would be helpful. Thank you.
I would agree with that, but I just want to be open. I'm also neutral in having a discussion, and, you know, if that doesn't work for the majority, then this is why it's here, for us to discuss. So,
Mrs. Sebastian?
yes.
Dr. Early, you had said 5 or 5:30. My hope was actually earlier than 5, so I would be pretty set on a 5 o'clock time, just because, again, like the length of our meetings is pretty lengthy, and I know we have a lot to accomplish, and I would never want to, I mean, you know, we have a lot of executive sessions we've been going into lately and all of that, so I do feel pretty firm in a 5 o'clock start time being appropriate. That way when we're talking about adding special meetings or adding executive sessions to them, we're not on such a time constraint.
Ms. Sebastian?
Yes, Dr. Early.
So I am fine with the 5 o'clock start time. As the email that I sent everyone, I think a couple other options we can consider for the future is having special meetings on different days in the board meetings itself, and also consider having separate days for executive session as well to accommodate the length of the meetings. I don't remember if I put in my email or not. There's a lot of research to support the length of meetings, specifically around board meetings, nonprofit meetings, and typically after the 2-hour mark, they become a lot less effective. The efficiency of the board members itself can impact the decision-making that happens in those times. I know those lengthy meetings are very cognitively strenuous on me personally, so I'm hopeful that we can find ways to have shorter, more productive meetings, even if, in my opinion, that means we have more frequent meetings.
Thank you, Dr. Early. I would just also like to say, for community members who attend meetings of the board, historically, we've had many changes to the times. It's been 5 o'clock in the past, it's been 7 o'clock, it's been 6 o'clock, and it's very difficult to accommodate to the needs of, we have Parma, Parma Heights, and Seven Hills communities. So I just want to acknowledge that we do encourage the community to come out, and we know that none of those times would accommodate everybody. So I'm also in agreement, though, to the 5 o'clock, but I also can be flexible if that's not the will of the board.
Ms. Sebastian?
Yes, Mr. Reyes.
Thank you. So I guess I understand everyone's concerns here. I know we all have children, so I understand the late meetings. Hopefully they get quicker as we all learn. We have 3 brand new members. So, but my concern is the community being able to come here at 5 o'clock. I know a lot of people work up to 5 o'clock. So trying to get here at 5 o'clock could be even more of a challenge for them. And then my second concern is, we're voting on this before the public has a chance to speak on it. So if we do vote on it, I just ask that we move it to a later time in today's meeting to see if there's anyone from the public that might want to weigh in on it.
Are you yielding the floor now?
Yep, thank you.
Ms. Kerpick?
Yes, Mrs. Sebastian. I just wanted to ask, do we have any requests for public comment pertaining to this?
We do not.
Thank you.
Ms. Sebastian?
I'm sorry. I'm hearing things from all different angles. Is somebody addressing me? Are you addressing me? Okay. 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 Could you? Thank you. But we have not, okay, so I think there's some confusion on. Okay, 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 thank you. Okay, so do we have any more comments, Mr. Reyes?
I move that we table this resolution until after public comment.
The motion, there's no second, so.
Well, I believe you'd have to ask, is there a second?
You second.
A second.
We have a motion and a second to, can you be specific?
To move this resolution to after public comment.
To move this resolution to after public comment.
I'm not sure where we would move it in the, I guess, is he amending the agenda to move this resolution to somewhere else in, I guess you have to be specific where? In what section?
I'm just asking that we table a resolution to after public comment.
So I just want to clarify, I think Mr. Nucio is saying in order to do that, we're going to have to amend the agenda because the agenda's already been set with the resolutions. So we would have to go back and amend, is that correct?
Yes, correct. To move to amend the agenda to include this in somewhere else in the, I don't even see where public comment, wherever,
So it would be directly after public comment.
yes, you'd have to amend the agenda to do so.
Okay. Mr. Reyes, is that what you want to do?
If that's what's needed, yes. I'd like to amend the agenda to move this resolution to be voted on after
You have to
public
say I
comment.
motion. I'm sorry. You have to say I motion too.
Thank you, Ms. Sebastian. I'd like to make a motion to move this resolution to be voted on after public comment.
To amend the agenda.
To amend the agenda to after public comment. Thank you.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to amend the agenda to include this resolution after a public comment.
Yes.
Roll call, please, Mr. Nucio.
Mr. Reyes,
Yes.
Dr. Early,
Yes.
Ms. Kerpick,
No.
Mrs. Sebastian,
Yes. The motion has passed. So we will address that resolution when we'll come back to that resolution after public comment.
correct.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay, so we are to our live streaming discussion. This is not a resolution. This is just a discussion. So I open up the floor.
Ms. Sebastian,
Yes, Mr. Reyes.
thank you so much. So looking at the resolution that we were just going to approve, or I'm sorry, vote on, Resolution 2026-03-123. I went back to look at the original resolution that we passed at the organizational meeting. And in that resolution, it states the public may view meetings live I'm sorry. Give me a second here. This doesn't get easier. The public may view the meetings live by visiting the district's Facebook page at facebook.com/Parma Schools or the district's website at parmacityschools.org or parmacityschools.org/board. So my question is, if we have this language in this original resolution that we passed at the organizational meeting, why isn't it included in the second resolution to change the times?
I'm really not clear on your question.
So at the organizational meeting, we passed this resolution 2026-01-07, which has the regular board meeting dates and times. And it also has the public may view meetings live by visiting the district's page, Facebook page or website. So my question is, why isn't that language in this second, I'm sorry. Why isn't that language in the second resolution as well?
The resolution that we just postponed, is that the resolution that you're 2026-03-123?
I apologize. It's probably a better question for that time. So
I didn't hear what you said.
I said I apologize. It's probably a better question for when we vote on the resolution.
It is, but I mean, I can answer it now.
Sure.
So that resolution is just specific to the times. That resolution was our organizational meeting. So it's a different, I mean, I would, and I can look to Mr. Nucio too. So it's a different resolution. That resolution that we are going to speak about is specific to just changing times. It had, that was, I think, the resolution, Mr. Reyes, who we don't have Mr. Reyes, it's really hard to address your comments when we don't have a copy of what you're looking at. So I can't see what you're looking at.
Could I speak,
Yeah.
Mrs. Sebastian? So 2026-03-123 is the time change and location change from the media center to here. And if that's all it's addressing on that issue.
I could probably ask that question when we vote on the resolution. But I guess the point I'm trying to get at is, the board made this resolution and passed it at the organizational meeting to allow the live streaming, the public to view meetings via live streaming. Yet I was told that the live streaming decision was operational. So how could it be operational when we have a resolution stating that the public may view the meetings live?
Once again, Mr. Reyes, we don't have a copy of what you're looking at, so I can't do anything without the information. But in light of moving forward, and again, we can't address that, but in light of moving forward, the discussion is to talk about what we feel about, like, it is an operational decision. And I think what you're reading here is saying that this is, Mr. Nucio, you're going to have to, I don't know if you have a copy of this, but I think what Mr. Reyes is saying is because it says that the public may view the meetings live by visiting the district's Facebook page and facebook.com, Parma Schools, or the district website. I don't believe that's the body of the resolution on what we're voting on. I think that's like a piece of it. So can you provide some clarity to that? Because I didn't see that's what he was.
Yeah, I think what we're voting on is
Thank you.
time change and the location.
Okay. So do you have any more questions besides that?
Yeah, maybe I'm asking this the wrong way, and I apologize. I get so nervous in these meetings. I get tongue-tied, so let me try to clarify. My question is, I was told the decision to end the live streaming was operational, yet we passed that in a resolution to allow the public to view the meetings live.
Mr. Reyes, for clarity, that is not what the body of the resolution is about. That is the organizational meeting, the times, and again, let me see. I can't. So what I'm saying is that is just approving the schedule. That's what the resolution reads. Resolution 2026, just for clarity, -01-07, 2026 schedule of regular board meetings. It is not a policy on live streaming. Does that make sense?
I understand, but it's a resolution that we passed with the language in it.
I hear you, but the body of what we were voting on was the 2026 schedule. That's the title of regular board meetings. So in light of moving forward, I would really like to open up the discussion for our thoughts. We're not voting on it, but our thoughts on whether or not we want to move forward with a different format. Do we want to keep it the same? And asking Dr. Hunt to weigh in on that, because it's an administrative decision.
I guess that's where I'm getting a little bit confused is I'm hearing administrative and operational, but yet this language is in the resolution that we passed. So I don't think that we can just, I'm not an attorney, so please don't take these words in that sense, but if we pass the resolution, it should be everything that's in the resolution, not just parts of it.
Mrs. Sebastian,
Yes.
if I may, could we keep this conversation just focused to how we all feel about live streaming, what we want to do about it going forward, and then if we want to have another conversation about resolutions and about if we are not following like verbatim what's in the resolution, I definitely think we can have that conversation. I think there might be a better spot on the agenda for it, but I would like to just focus right now on the thoughts of live streaming.
Thank you, Ms. Kerpick. I would agree. Do you have anything to add?
No, I've previously shared in the public forum my thoughts on the matter, so I'll yield the floor.
Mrs. Sebastian,
Yes.
I'm sorry, I have more to share, if
I
may.
apologize, yes.
That's okay. I would be in support of having our meetings, like having the video recording come back. I have heard some feedback from the public of it being difficult to determine who is speaking with only the audio. And I went back and I listened, and I agree with that. It is difficult, and I don't feel that it's very transparent for us to only have audio when it's hard to know who's talking. That wasn't a consideration of mine previously. I had never thought about that. So for that reason, I think that it is, I think that it is important that we do have the video streaming. I don't believe that it has to be a live stream. I don't think that there's, I don't think there's anything different from us posting it live versus us posting it the next day. So my thought is I would be in support, and I think it would be good to bring back the video, but I don't necessarily believe that it has to be a live stream like we did previously. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Kerpick. If I could just add to that, I also think that, there were some things that, like you pointed out with not being able to see, who was talking or knowing who was talking. Also, I think, and again, this is just a discussion, and then I think we need to talk to administration about what they feel after they've heard our discussion. But I believe that live streaming was something that was started during COVID. I have historically attended board meetings myself, and so pre-COVID, there was no live streaming. You had to attend board meetings, and then those board meetings were videotaped and they were posted on PAC TV, and you were able to view them there. So I would, I would like Dr. Hunt to consider a happy medium with taping them and then posting them, but I am not, I would not be, I really would, I don't think the live streaming is necessary. Dr. Hunt?
Thank you. It would be very easy for us to tape and post the video, and we could do that as soon as the next meeting.
So I would, are there any more comments or questions? Okay, so I make a motion to end discussion. Call the question, yeah. We're not calling the question, we're just
No, I don't
ending
think you need to
discussion.
make a motion, it's just,
I don't have to?
no,
Okay.
we just go to the
I'm
next
being
topic.
overzealous?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, so then we are going to move on to our next discussion then. So I just want to be clear then, not this meeting, but our next meetings will be videotaped and then posted on our website. I just want to be clear.
Mrs. Sebastian, may I just ask a clarifying question? I'm sure I know the answer. Our special meetings will be recorded and posted as well too then?
If that's what you'd like, we can do that.
Oh,
Again, very easy for us to videotape and post, and I want to say we post on our YouTube channel, which runs through our site, so I don't know if that's semantics, but we do post videos, and we will do that, as I'm hearing the discussion, beginning March 26th. And if we have anything like a special meeting in between, we will be prepared to record and post that as well.
perfect, thank you. We are now going to move into our discussion, and I just want to be clear before we start this discussion on evaluation tools. These are evaluation tools that the board is looking at to evaluate the superintendent. I just want to be clear that that is all we can discuss are the tools. Anything else would throw us into an executive session, and we're not doing that. So just if you can be mindful of just discussing the tools that we would be using. So I'm going to go ahead and open the floor.
Ms. Sebastian?
Yes, Dr. Early.
So I would like to thank you for sending an email to the board in its entirety with a few recommendations for tools that we could use. I would like the board to consider, however, an additional option beyond the tools that were emailed to us. I think for this school year and for the following school year, we should consider using a consultant to assist with the facilitation of collaborative evaluations of the superintendent and the treasurer. So the specific firm that I'm recommending that we discuss and potentially at a future meeting consider a resolution for is Leadership and Learning LLC to support our board and the evaluations of the superintendent and the treasurer. That organization is led by a previous superintendent with 26 years experience within several districts in Northeast Ohio. He operates as a facilitator through this process with the administrator of that specific evaluation and the board. So he uses the foundational components of the evaluation as the Ohio Superintendent Evaluation System. Within our district, we use the Ohio Principal Evaluation System and the Ohio Teacher Evaluation System. So the Ohio Superintendent Evaluation System was created by a committee of superintendents through Columbus. So through this process, though, the facilitator simplifies that process, which if everyone looked over the Ohio Superintendent Evaluation System, it's very comprehensive. There's a lot to it. So he simplifies that process and ties it with goal setting. So there would be 2 meetings that would occur each school year. The first meeting would be a collaborative goal setting with the board members and the administrator, whether it's the superintendent or the treasurer. Then the second meeting would be the summative assessment to review progress towards goals and make modification for the following year. The evaluations themselves are provided in draft for feedback and accuracy of our records, and it really focuses on a collaborative approach. I know we have Dr. Hunt's first evaluation scheduled already. If we decide to move forward with this and a resolution is approved, this consultant is available for that meeting. So I think it's something that we should consider moving into the evaluation cycle. I yield the floor. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Early.
Mrs. Sebastian?
Ms. Kerpick.
I think that's a great idea. I mean, especially having 3 new board members, and this being the first time evaluating, the first time Scott's being evaluated by our Board of Education here. I think that would be super helpful. I really like that it would be, a third party, someone unbiased. And yeah, we could stick with our the date that we've all already committed to. So I'm in support of this. Yeah, thank you for doing the legwork on that.
Thank you, Ms. Kerpick. Mr. Reyes.
Thank you, Ms. Sebastian. No, I also like the idea too. I think with 3 new board members, this would be a good way for us to get our policies and our procedures established and help us for next years to come. So thank you for looking that up.
Thank you, Mr. Reyes. And I'd just like to say, too, one of the evaluation tools that we were proposing tonight was actually the superintendent's evaluation system that would actually be a part of what he was using. Is that correct? So that was something that we were looking at. And I would be in agreement, too. And I think also it does not have to be a continuous contract with, is it a contract? I just want to make sure that we would have to.
This would be something that would be board approved.
Yes, so we would need a resolution.
Yeah, so we would have when the special meeting to evaluate and this, Dr. Hunt, we'd have a resolution first to approve this firm, and then the firm, you could meet with the firm in executive session after that.
Okay. So Also, I guess, going on what I was saying is, once we had that set in place, I think we would be comfortable. We would already have the goals and the evaluations in motion, and then that's something that we could probably look at doing ourselves in the next year.
So my thoughts, and I would love to hear what everyone thinks, is I know we're specifically in our agenda talking about the superintendent evaluation. I believe we should do it for the superintendent evaluation and the treasurer evaluation. I would say the resolution, so for the treasurer evaluation, though, we would use the Ohio Treasurer Evaluation System. Again, same foundational concepts. The resolution then would need to be to approve those, I guess it would be, and I can find out from the consulting firm, like the specifics of that, if we need one resolution, or would it be two separate resolutions?
It could be one resolution.
Okay.
So just for clarity, Mr. Nucio, you're saying that we could do that resolution before our executive session?
Yes.
We can, I'm just not do it. We can, we could adopt it. Okay. Okay. So is everybody good with that moving forward?
I am. Excuse me, I am.
Okay, thank you.
Yes, thank you.
Yes.
Okay. Okay. So we are now going to hand the floor over to information to the board. Dr. Hunt, I believe we're going to, actually, it's not going to be Dr. Hunt. It's going to be Dr. Cruz.
It'll be me first.
Oh, you first. I'm
I got a
sorry.
few
I didn't mean to
items,
skip
so-
over you.
And then Dr. Cruz.
Dr. Hunt?
Just a few items.
Take the floor, yes.
A few items for the board. First, had an outstanding experience over the weekend narrating the Carnival of Animals for the Parma Symphony Orchestra. That was Sunday at Valley Forge High School. Auditorium was packed. If you've not been to the Symphony Orchestra here, I would encourage you to go see them. They have a show in May. I don't have the date in front of me, but you can certainly see the advertisements. They'll be pushing out some information on that. And if you want to watch the YouTube video, you can go to our YouTube site and see this weekend's orchestra and my fantastic narration. I also had the opportunity this week to speak to our teaching professions class, also at Valley Forge High School. I wanted to share with you that several of our students recently participated in the Ohio Educators Rising State Conference that's held in Columbus. The conference brings together hundreds of high school students across the state who are interested in pursuing careers in education. Our students have the opportunity to participate in competitions, attend professional learning sessions, and connect with peers who share a passion for teaching. Experiences like this help strengthen the future educator pipeline and provide our students with valuable leadership and career exploration opportunities, and of course, a potential pipeline into our classrooms here at Parma City Schools. So outstanding program, and wanted to make sure that you heard a little bit about that. We also, this past weekend, held the Kindergarten Kickoff Carnival. That was on Saturday at Pleasant Valley Elementary. Again, a fantastic turnout for that day, and I want to make sure that I thank Clifford the Big Red Dog, Mr. Reyes, who volunteered to be on site in that outstanding warm costume for the morning. So thank you, Mr. Reyes. Pierogi dinner was also last Friday. Again, outstanding turnout, and want to thank everyone who participated in pulling that together. The food was outstanding. We have two things upcoming on March 18th, titled Community Conversations. Previously, you may recognize these as town halls. March 18th at Valley Forge High School in the Media Center, we're going to be talking about our finances, our future. And on March 19th, the Parma Area Chamber of Commerce is hosting the State of the Schools address at Normandy High School from 11 to 2 for members of the Chamber, and we'll be presenting the State of the Schools at that time. And that's all I have, and so I'm going to turn it over to Dr. Cruz and Mrs. Zermet for the KLA presentation. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Hunt.
Good evening. So we have the slides behind you, but they were also emailed to you, and then the handout you have as well. So I know it's a little awkward to turn around.
Dr. Cruz, do you want us to hold questions until the presentation's over, or would you like us to just jump in whenever?
I'm good with jumping in.
Okay.
Whatever whatever
Thank
you
you.
want.
Thank you.
I might lose my train of thought, but you'll help me get back.
Try not to.
It's okay. It happens anyway. All right, so KLA, we're here to talk about this tonight. We have an item on a resolution on the agenda tonight where we're asking the board to consider increasing the tuition costs. So we wanted to give a little bit of background information about KLA. This is our teaching and learning team who has been working on Kindergarten Launch Academy shift this year. Me, Megan McCaskey, Amy Zermet, and Lara Savilic over at First Step. We always look at our district goals to keep us focused on why we're here. That first one being increasing student achievement, which is a big part of the work that we do. Improving transparency in our communities, which is why we're here to talk through this, and practicing fiscal responsibility. And we will highlight some of the ways that this shift does allow us to practice fiscal responsibility. One of those, well, we'll get there. So we'll talk a little bit about our why, explain what KLA is, and then talk through some of the highlights of the program. So as a teaching and learning team, we believe in early childhood education. We understand that these experiences and these early interventions allow for our students to grow academically and socially, and we value that has been a part of our district with our preschool program and with Kindergarten Launch Academy. When we think about how we can help students, we know that intervening early is one of the best ways to support their growth. When we think about fiscal responsibility, and we know that as students move through their time in elementary and middle school, if they are trying to catch up on skills or are lacking skills that they need to be successful, not only is that difficult for them, but it comes at a cost to the district. And so when we think about early intervention and early childhood experiences, we consider this an upstream approach where we are working to try to prevent those future needs of additional intervention specialists, additional specially designed instruction. That's our goal, is to try to provide these early childhood academic and social experiences to our community so that they can, our community of students, so that they can then be more successful in elementary, middle, and high school. When we looked at the current KLA model, Kindergarten Launch Academy, it was designed about 5 years ago, and it was designed for students who had already met the kindergarten age requirement, and so that limited enrollment to students who would also be going to kindergarten the following year, but hadn't met that birthday cutoff. So the way that it was designed to allow young 5-year-olds, young kindergartners, to be able to experience kindergarten twice. So they attended Kindergarten Launch Academy for a year and then moved into a kindergarten classroom. We recognize that this limited access to many students who would be going to kindergarten the following year were not able to participate in Kindergarten Launch Academy. They already had to be of kindergarten age. So we have been looking at this for the last couple of years as how could we expand these early childhood opportunities to students who are 4 and 5 years old, not just already having met kindergarten school age. This discussion started as a way to expand these opportunities for students, and this year when we really started working with Mrs. Savilic, Mrs. McCaskey, we really started diving into the details and the logistics of how we could make this work. And what we realized was not just opening up the access to students who were 4, so we could have a pre-K, but it also became a way that we could look at cost savings. We are not required to have a kindergarten launch academy. In fact, it's pretty unique. It is not a requirement by the state. The way we have our preschool structured, preschool allows for us to have a tuition-based model. So Kindergarten Launch Academy has been happening in the district for the last 5 or so years at a cost to our general fund. We've employed teachers and aides. The students have been a part of our encore, our arts classes, and that has come at a cost to the district. An important cost because, again, we believe in providing early childhood experiences, but it has come at a cost. So to allow for us to maintain and sustain this program, shifting it to the preschool model allows us to not only open it up to more students who will benefit from a pre-K experience, but it allows us to offset the cost with a tuition-based model.
I just wanted to stay on topic, so I wanted to stop you there. And you may or may not have the answer to this. So, you know, as we were looking in our special meeting, we're facing cuts.
Yes.
And so would KLA, the way it is, would that have been something that was looked at? I just, for clarity.
Absolutely. So KLA, as a kindergarten program, would have been, yes, it was something that was considered as a cut, as a cost savings. So what is KLA? We have our definition here. Kindergarten Launch Academy is a pre-kindergarten option for students who are entering kindergarten the following year. KLA provides students with a foundational year of early childhood learning before attending a standard kindergarten classroom. So I'm going to turn it over to Mrs. Zermatt. So she was here at the beginning of KLA when it first started in our district. So she's going to give you a little side-by-side comparison of what KLA has been the last few years, and then what the shift is that we're proposing for next year starting in 26-27.
Thank you, Dr. Cruz. As Dr. Cruz talked about, I've been around since we kind of initiated the thought around Kindergarten Launch Academy. And one of the things that really was the why back then, that still is the why, is what Dr. Cruz talked about. We wanted to help build our students' confidence and success in both early foundational skills, but then also as their trajectory in terms of kindergarten, and just honestly understanding that our students needed this extra support. We believed in it. The teachers helped create this, and one thing I want to say is that the ones that have been here since the beginning, as well as past and present KLA teachers, are fabulous human beings who adore what they do and have done great things with this program. That to be said, there are some things that we realize that we can even continue to improve upon as well as expand. So in terms of what it was and where we would like to head, as Dr. Cruz talked about, one of the biggest pieces is the students were completing 2 years of kindergarten. We were retaining them in our system, and in their files, they would be known as going through kindergarten twice, which in most cases, they needed that extra time. But in reality, what we wanted to find is there is another way to provide them that opportunity to gain the skills. We also currently have them located at 3 elementary buildings. We were able to kind of combine and cluster so that some of the kids who would be ending up together would be able to kind of like follow that cluster. But that came with the ability not to have it at all buildings. The elementary day, Monday through Friday, in comparison, what we're looking towards is we would like to have one location and a preschool where students are able to have that pre-K experience. Really will allow us to expand and really help them master some of those skills in a setting that they still will find success. We are looking at Monday through Friday for both the previous, but also what we're looking towards for our KLA at First Step. It would include a preschool instruction as well as enrichment, which we'll talk about in a little bit. When we were looking at another big piece for what they're experiencing right now, they were expected to get exposed to kindergarten standards. And that is a lot for a early 5-year-old to try to experience. When we shift it to preschool, we're going to be focused on both early learning standards, but then slower kindergarten readiness so that we can prepare them and be more appropriate.
Just staying on topic, are we hoping that that will improve our early literacy scores as well? Okay.
Correct, because they were intended to take, and they had to take, every kindergarten assessment, and that was what was aligning to our report card and that early literacy score. They will still be required because there is state assessments with preschool, but it'll be more aligned and appropriate to what the skills we're working on.
So in EMIS, will they be coded for preschool, not for kindergarten, so they won't qualify for RIMPs or anything of that nature?
Exactly.
Okay. Thank you.
Yes.
For clarity, because I'm an acronym police, so that's our Education Management Information System. Okay, just for anybody that needed to know
Yes.
that.
Exactly. So as we spoke to, we currently, for KLA, it's that early 5-year-olds, they had to be 5. We're opening it up to 4-year-olds and 5-year-olds. So they have to be at least 4 years old by the start of the school year. And that's purposeful because we also would like them to be going to kindergarten the next year, because it really is a true pre-K experience. Building that foundation, being able to provide that exposure and stamina building for what kindergarten will be is really what a true pre-K classroom is really about. We will still have the requirements that it will be a residency requirement of all, just like all of our Parma City Schools students, and it will be a gen ed classroom, which means that it'll have both peers as well as students with disabilities, that the general education setting is their least restrictive environment. So we briefly talked about the need to look at the tuition for both peer models for our current preschool classrooms, as well as peer models and students with disabilities for Kindergarten Launch Academy with the shift. One of the things to point out is that our committee really did take a look at not only considerations of what shifting the program and making sure that we are fiscally responsible would allow so that we weren't adding additional costs and we were looking at trying to offset some of those costs, but also the understanding that as we were talking through this and the conversations with Mrs. Civilik over the years, the discussions surrounding trying to ensure we could sustain some of the things related to First Step always went around still. There would be the need possibility to continue to increase in smaller increments some of the tuition, even for peer models before KLA was going to be shifting to First Step. So around that same time, because we were looking at Kindergarten Launch Academy and what the tuition-based model could look like, we did reach out to other districts or reach out to other preschool settings. And from what we currently have, which is $600 a year for peer models, that by far was already extremely low in comparison to our area childhood-based centers. The increase that we're proposing is an increase for peers for just the AM or PM would be $800 a year. And in comparison, when we would reach out to the other districts, in all honesty, that would be a month in some situations. So the comparison of being able to provide this opportunity is still where we felt that it was enough that our families wouldn't feel as much as the other preschool settings. Kindergarten Launch Academy, as we talked about, would be a little bit more of an extended enrichment opportunity, meaning, and we'll get to the breakdown a little bit, but because we would still have that preschool instruction, just like our AM and PM, but it would be extended to include lunch, recess, and then some enrichment opportunities. there would be more cost than just the $800 a year. So we're proposing $1,500 for peer models. So that would still mirror the $800 and that 2.5 hours of instruction in the morning, and then that extension of lunch and recess or play, as well as the enrichment readiness opportunities would be that $700. That's how we got to the $1,500. In terms of students with IEPs, as we know, it is a service we provide already for that preschool instruction. So the AM or the PM option of that 2.5 hours of preschool instruction, there will be no tuition costs for those students. Where the cost comes in is that extension or that enrichment time. That would include the lunch, the recess or play, as well as their opportunities for the enrichment or readiness activities. And so that's where we're trying to continue to be able to be cost savings or cognizant of being able to provide opportunities, because it will be able to be offsetting some of the costs.
I just, I don't know if this is a question, more of a concern in messaging, especially for the students with disabilities and on IEPs. I can see where there might be there or could be some confusion on the enrichment part, and when we're talking about specially designed instruction and what that looks like. So how do you, is there any thoughts, and I know you mentioned Ms. McCaskey, are there any thoughts how that messaging is going to go out? Because I don't know if it's clear in what we're seeing, but I'm not saying that that's not going to come after. Make sense? Kind of.
Was there a question there?
Yes and no.
So-
I guess it did form into a question.
I think okay.
Yeah.
So we as a preschool, as long as the preschool has been existing in this current form, we do not charge any tuition for students who receive specially designed instruction. And all of our students with disabilities, that's the case. When we are looking at the structure and the ratios in our classrooms, we want to provide an opportunity that allows for our students to be included in an inclusive setting. So the tagline of Gen Ed classroom really it's not really a great description, but that's what it's called in preschool land. It's an inclusion classroom where we have students with disabilities who are right alongside their peers. So calling it Gen Ed is not, it's just not great because it doesn't really describe that. But what a KLA day will look like is still 2.5 hours of preschool instruction, which is part of, in some students, part of their specially designed instruction where they would receive accommodations or support. And then that enrichment part is the additional. But we aren't splitting up the KLA day. So for students whose parents choose, so a parent could say of a 4-year-old who's going to kindergarten next year, my child really just needs some time, half day, with preschool instruction, and they're going to be a peer model, and they could choose the AM or PM time. There could be a parent of a 4-year-old who says, I would like for my child to be a part of the KLA and have that additional kindergarten readiness time, and that's their choice. But that KLA classroom will stay as one class all day. We're not splitting them up, so they will be one classroom for that. That will be their classroom designation. So I don't know if I answered your question completely, but the specially designed instruction part is built into that half-day preschool, which is why if a student is on an IEP in a KLA classroom, they're not paying for that portion of the day.
Good, I'm glad you clarified that. But I guess the messaging part, and so these are going to be discussions and IEP meetings, and so I'm just wondering what that looks like moving forward.
So the IEP team always has to consider the least restrictive environment for the student. And in this case, we would be looking at that least restrictive environment being in an inclusive setting that allows the student to have exposure to their peers' standards with support and with the specially designed instruction on their particular individualized goals.
I guess I'm sorry, I should be clear. I mean, so you worked with Mrs. McCaskey.
Yes.
So is there been, So I'm hoping that that's been discussed with their supervisors and what that's going to look like when these questions, because they will come up
Absolutely.
in IEP meetings. Okay, so
So-
there is good messaging across.
Well, I don't know if it's good messaging. That'll be,
Okay.
we can.
To be
There
determined.
has been
Okay.
messaging.
Okay.
I'm not going to claim it's good just yet, but absolutely. And we recognize that with change, there's always a lot of exploration and a lot of concern anytime there's a program change or a shift in life. And so we are here to learn with our teachers, with our families. We met with the building leadership team at First Step. That's typically where Mrs. Zermatt and I go towards, is the building leadership team, to be able to have those representatives in a smaller group to be able to work with them and understand the needs of that particular building. We met with them. I should say, Mrs. Zermatt went to the preschool PTA meeting to get feedback from the stakeholders at that meeting. We have had many conversations with our families and our staff, but change is hard, and we are taking what has been a solid program and moving it to another building, and that is for the staff at First Step. We anticipate that they will welcome this KLA program with open arms, just as we would when there's a shift in any teacher that has to move for whatever reason into another building. We would expect that as colleagues that they would be open to them coming to that building. And that's what we're hopeful for. We know that change is hard again, and there's going to be some difficulties to work through in terms of using the copier, making space, whatever it is, laminating, whatever the thing is in that building, and they'll work through that. And Mrs. Savilik is a strong leader who will be able to bring the staff. This is a preschool program. This is not a unique program that is something different than what is already happening. These are the same age peers in that building.
And I want to clarify with the questions that I'm asking, and I'm just saying this for everyone to understand. We're not voting on whether or not KLA is going to happen, because again, that's administrative decision. We're talking about the tuition piece, but I'm appreciating the discussion. I just wanted to clarify that.
Oh, sorry. Go ahead, Dr. Early.
I was going to ask if you could expand a little bit upon what the enrichment part of the day is going to look like. Is that what?
This is a great transition.
Fantastic.
I love it.
Thank you.
So now I'm going to talk about the proposed daily experiences. Thanks, Dr. Early, for that assist. As we spoke to, the day will be Monday through Friday. The time range is 9 a.m. to 1:45. And as we talk through a little bit more about what some of the experiences will be, you'll kind of see how it fits in, but 2.5 hours like we spoke to for that preschool academic instruction. And one thing I want to point out that I think we really are trying to ensure that we bring along from what was really successful about what current Kindergarten Launch Academy was, is that a lot of the academic pieces that prepared them for that second year of kindergarten were because we built it in a way that was a little bit more appropriate for what our early learners really need. We're building that stamina, but not negating the fact that we need to start building that foundation of academics, even in preschool, tied alongside play and that opportunity to kind of grow in your social aspects too. So that to be said, when we go through that, what even the preschool instruction or some of the enrichment pieces, all of that's interweaving, that we'll kind of see where a maybe 3-year-old preschool classroom doesn't have as heavy of academics, where a pre-K classroom kind of ups the ante a little bit, but in a kind, graceful kind of way for that's appropriate. So as the day kind of looks in terms of that 9 to 1:45, once we get closer to providing the teacher and the staff and the building logistics, some of that organically gets built, but I'm going to give you the overview. So They will follow the district calendar, first step building activities, and then the main focus for the enrichment is about reinforcement. It's about building those foundational literacy skills, not new instruction, but just finding ways to enforce it, and in all honesty, through ways they may not even know that they are learning in terms of that reinforcement. Kindergarten readiness isn't about necessarily like flashcards and building. It's about independence and social skill development that allows them to feel confident too. Some of the things that relate to enrichment also will be like exploration. So STEAM activities where it has to do with arts and music, things that will connect them to the skills in a variety of ways. Do you have any questions about what else the daily experiences of instruction will look like?
Yeah, I'm curious, will then, I'm assuming the Ohio Kindergarten Learning Standards will be used to drive some of that planning during the day for kindergarten
So the
readiness?
Ohio Early Learning Standards are the preschool standards, but what a pre-K curriculum, so that's a good point. So currently we use a curriculum called Creative Curriculum, which is an approved preschool curriculum by the state of Ohio. It involves the early learning standards, which a lot have to do with some of the early literacy skills, things related to math, but then also social play and fine motor skills, all the things that really are like kindergarten standards, but a little bit more of that progression of not the expectation where in kindergarten, it's like, you need to know this as a standard. In early learning standards, it's more of like, here's where we're progressing to at a more developmentally appropriate rate. So currently we use the creative curriculum, which early learning standards, a little bit less on the clear academic standards. They have another program that is creative curriculum, but pre-K edition. And it is created with the intention of that year before kindergarten. So it kind of combines. It has the theme-based and the curiosity and the play, but then moments of explicit instruction for some of those, what in your mind is kindergarten standards, but it's like at a little bit lower progression rate.
So is it more of exposure?
Exactly.
Okay.
So where you're looking at mastery by the end of kindergarten, pre-K is at exposure, and it gets a little bit more progressive as you go through with the intention that they're coming in not knowing everything, but they're coming in with that foundation that really can set them off to grow even more.
And my last question about the daily experience, you mentioned the importance of, with our early learners, like learning non-academic skills. There was reference to that. Is there any integration of like social emotional learning that will happen during this?
Yes, actually, we already currently use Second Step, early, like the preschool edition of the early learning. And actually, current KLA was using Second Step, and it was the preschool edition. So one thing to note is that when we created like the curriculum for current, what KLA looks like, it actually was a combination of curriculum of preschool and kindergarten. And now we're just basically buying a curriculum that does it for us. So it's kind of nice that we don't have to put together every piece because it's combining those standards organically.
Thank you.
So as we talked about, we were able to kind of explain even more in detail at our preview night for KLA. We had 60-some people on a virtual. I think that might have been my record of ever having an info night with that many folks, and it was great because the questions also prepared them for us kind of launching the enrollment process. So we, as a district, were able to kind of have one date that opened up registration for a variety of programs we offer, and it was March 2nd. So we opened up that registration, and it is now open. We have roughly, I think, 34 applicants already for Kindergarten Launch Academy. From that is where the discussions about staffing ratios and making sure that we're meeting the requirements of both preschool and then meeting the needs of being able to staff and then look at what it looks like in terms of at first step and classrooms and so on and so forth. But as we spoke to earlier, Kindergarten Launch Academy is still one option for our students who are peer models, or for students with disabilities. AM or PM is still available as an option. This was just an application specific to Kindergarten Launch Academy, especially with us shifting. We wanted to make sure we had it a little bit separate so we can continue the clarity and conversation surrounding how to fill the classrooms to meet the needs of everybody who's coming there. So that is overall the enrollment process, and we're excited it's open still. We will be notifying the first round, the first phase, by mid-April, because as you spoke to, Mrs. Sebastian, the IEP teams, they're applying, and then the conversations are happening where the teams can sit down with the families and talk through things. So that's why we wanted to give ourselves enough time to be able to provide that opportunity. And this is the last part. So with anything, whether it's a shift, whether it's a new program, there are things we constantly are working through. And in all honesty, if we had every detail figured out to every little point, we're not then being authentic to what it means to really work with understanding students, understanding staff, because there are things that we want to take slower so that we do it right because of the impact it can have. So right now, we have figured out quite a few things, but there are things that we want to continue to work through, and we are as both a KLA team, but then also with Mrs. Civilic, as it is her building that is being welcoming our Kindergarten Launch Academy. So some of the things related to day-to-day logistics about times and when things will occur, those are still being worked through. We are working with our nutrition supervisor, Emily Gladys. She is fabulous, and she is helping us so that we ensure that we are meeting the nutrition requirements that preschool brings, as well as just the day-to-day logistics to be able to achieve this. Encore, that enrichment time, those are things that we will continue to work through, because in all honesty, one of the things I really truly feel like makes any type of shift or curriculum or program successful is the involvement of the teachers. And the teachers, once we know the staff, will be helping us assist what this looks like, as well as once we get to know the students. Building level logistics, classrooms and staffing, those are all in the works. It's just not at the point yet. One other note, when I spoke about the creative curriculum materials, the state of Ohio actually offers an opportunity to use some grant funds, which I will always want to not have to spend money and be able to provide this opportunity. So I submitted a grant. We're waiting for that final approval. And I'm hoping for both our current preschool as well as Kindergarten Launch Academy curriculum that will be covered by the grant. So fingers crossed that happens. And then curriculum mapping, which is where teachers really get involved to build the program of what we want instructionally. So that is all the things in works. We have much more work to do, but we're very excited to be able to bring this to life and continue the great work of Kindergarten Launch. So any questions besides?
The last one, I just kind of question, comment, maybe both. So, I'm going back and reading some of the eligibility on KLA, and the way it's written and the way I understand it, I just want to make sure. It sounds like for students with disabilities, students who have IEPs, it looks like it may be opening the continuum a little bit for them, which I'm very excited about, because when we talk about exposure, it is vital for students with disabilities, especially at that young age. So I think that needs to be said, that puts another piece on the continuum for them.
That's a very good point.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I have a couple of questions. So I don't know much about this program, so I'm just trying to understand. So right now, it's in 3 separate buildings, is that correct?
Correct. 3
Okay.
separate elementary buildings.
Elementary
yes.
buildings, okay. Do you know what the current enrollment is for that?
I do, roughly, and then, so over the years, it's ebbed and flowed. We actually started with 2 classes, and then the enrollment went up, and we had 3. We are at roughly about 12 in each class, 13 around there, give or take of students. So roughly, you're looking at 40-some students. And the hope would be that, and just from what we've gotten for registration arrive, we're hitting that number already. So that was one of the goals too, is that we wanted to provide the opportunity, like Dr. Cruz said, to expand and be able to get more kids because we want to build a foundation.
Okay. And do you know how many students we can house at Pleasant View?
So the current thought process is that we currently have 3 classrooms at the different elementaries. The goal to start would be we can fill up to 3 classrooms at First Step.
And do you know what the current cost is for this program?
The current cost of like Kindergarten Launch Academy,
I'm sorry, to the district, yes.
it would be,
You wouldn't, probably Mr. Nucio, question for Mr. Nucio.
So typically, we say that a teacher costs with benefits, I mean, they're anywhere, the starting salary for teachers, $44,504, I think it is. That's the base. But they also have benefits. We also have to pay the tax. We have to pay Medicare, and there's pension and workers' compensation. So probably about $65,000 a teacher. And I believe they said there was 3 teachers. So that's 195,000 there for teachers. And I think there were 3 aides. Aides, of course, don't get paid as much, but they have insurance. So that's, I would say, probably 40,000 maybe per aide if there's 3 aides. That'd be another 120,000. So we're close to what, 315,000, I believe it is. That's the approximate cost. Plus, there would be costs for the food, but that's not in the general fund. But if you're just looking at general fund costs, over 300,000.
Okay. So moving it to Pleasant View, would it increase the costs
increase?
than what we currently? No. No increase?
No.
Okay.
And especially with the before we weren't having a tuition-based model for our students who are currently in Kayla, and here would be shifting to a tuition-based model to offset even more of the costs.
Okay. And that was actually my next question. So I see it says the current tuition is $600. So is that $600 for the entire year?
It is.
And then so we're changing that to now have 3 different tuition structures. Is that what we're doing?
No, it's 800. We're moving from the 600 for current peer models who are receiving like an AM, that 2.5 hours of preschool instruction. So that's like a $200 a year change. Where the other change is we don't have a current tuition for Kindergarten Launch Academy. So the $1,500 is the tuition we are proposing for the year for Kindergarten Launch Academy.
I think he's saying
Thank you.
different options. It's like 3 different, depending on if you're IEP, AM, or B. So I get, yeah, it's just.
So, and then Dr. Cruz was pointing out one other thing where the third one may come in. The currently students with disabilities for that AM or PM do not have a tuition cost. They will still not have a tuition cost for that preschool instruction, that half-day part of it, technically. It's the extended time that includes lunch and the enrichment that does now have that tuition cost tied to it, if that makes sense. So
Okay.
3, I guess, in a way.
Thank you. Thank you.
Just one last question moving forward. And I just, again, with all the decisions that the administration has to make moving forward, sustainability at First Step, what does that look like for KLA?
I think this is us trying to ensure sustainability. I think the reality is that the preschool need for instruction is always there, but this is a way to be able to ensure it for both students with disabilities, but then also peers to have an opportunity as well. So, I mean, that's the goal, sustainability.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you both. I just have to find my place. I think we are now at committee meeting reports. So I do not believe there was a business report. Communications and Community Relations, Dr. Early.
Yes, we met as a committee on March 4th. During that time, we discussed the upcoming community engagement session, the community conversations, which is happening next week on March 18th at Valley Forge. A good portion of the meeting was spent finalizing details surrounding that community conversation event. During our committee meeting, we also discussed the change in location to the auditorium for the board meetings. And we also began to have conversations surrounding like student participation during board meetings and what that looks like, such as the Pledge of Allegiance. We talked about recognizing students from the CTE competitions and winter sports. And we had conversations surrounding recognizing retirees in the future May meetings. So we didn't necessarily discuss any new business during the committee. It was wrapping up a lot of loose ends from the previous committee meeting. So at our upcoming meeting, our next meeting is March 23rd at 12:30 p.m. at Arlington. That is open to the public. Some of the items that we're going to be discussing that are on the agenda, assuming we get through the agenda, is finalizing the recognition schedule for April and May, again with CTE, winter sports, classified and certified retirements. We're going to be revisiting the request to be heard forms that we use at the board meetings, specifically looking at our district policy 1069.1. We are going to be reviewing the website structure to try to increase accessibility and looking at different examples. And then I think those are the three main items that we will discuss during that. So thank you, Ms. Sebastian.
Thank you, Dr. Early. Is there any questions for Dr. Early before we move forward? Okay, so we do not have curriculum committee report, finance, Mr. Reyes, but I know Mr. Nucio usually gives a report, right? So no report. Okay. And then policy. Who, just for clarification, who does the policy report?
I know you have my name listed
I
on there,
know.
but I don't. I normally do the communications and community relations report. I had just asked Dr. Early if she could do it because I wasn't at that last meeting.
So it's policy, Mr. Reyes. Mr. Reyes, are you policy?
I
can be if needed.
I believe that was, I think we need to have a conversation about this because I know there was some confusion before about it because I think Nick, you had presented.
I'm on business.
Yeah,
I'm sorry, finance.
I think you had presented finance previously, or you were supposed to be presenting finance, and then I think you had presented finance, but I think that was, I don't know. I think we need to talk about these again.
Okay,
Yeah,
well,
yeah, we
I
can
mean,
talk
he's
about it.
saying,
It's no
Mr. Reyes is saying he doesn't mind, you
It's
don't
fine,
mind
it's no
doing
big
that?
deal. Yeah, I can.
Yeah, but you don't have a report tonight?
No,
And
our
it's okay
policy,
if you don't.
no, we don't have no report.
I think it was initially designed because there were 5 committees, so we each had one to report on. So I think if we were to have Nick doing, we just have to reestablish who's
That's
doing,
fine. We
who's
can do that
who's doing
before
what.
the
But I
next
just think
meeting.
we should have a conversation about
Okay,
that.
we can do that. Okay, thank you. With that being said, we're going to move to communications. I can just start at the end. Mr. Reyes, do you have any communications?
No, I don't, thank you.
Ms. Kerpick?
I do not have any today. Thank you.
I do. I just wanted to acknowledge that we started our elementary tours. So I had the pleasure of visiting many of our elementary buildings. I'm just going to echo what Dr. Hunt has said about, I know there has been, I think this isn't one of your did you knows. However, there's talk about consolidation, within the community. Can we consolidate? I would welcome the community to look at our buildings, our elementary buildings. There is not a space left unturned, and I applaud the staff and the principals, the staff in the buildings that are able to make it work. Student spaces are cramped as well as adult spaces are cramped. So I wanted to say that, and just all the hard work that I've seen in the buildings. it really, I said this before, but it grounds me walking in there and seeing. We are going to be visiting, I think next week we are going to make our way to Parma Park. Is that correct? I think we're doing Parma Park next week. And then there's a couple buildings that we've missed, but we're going to get to them because it doesn't work for everybody's schedule. So also I had the opportunity as well to attend our kindergarten registration with Clifford. And it was a great opportunity. I love seeing all the smiling faces and the families so exciting. They're walking in the buildings, excited to be there. So it was a pleasure to be there. And then also I had the opportunity to attend a Parma Council of PTA meeting last night, and lots of great information and good things happening at Parma Council of PTAs. So that's all I have for communications. Do you have anything, Dr. Early?
Yeah, I just want to say great job to the Sword and Shield staff. We went to the pierogi dinner, Rob and I, last Friday, and that's always, we've gone for years, and they always do a great job. The kids are always really excited and proud of the work that they do, so I enjoyed that. And then thank you to the staff of Thorough Park for inviting us to read during Read Across America week. So I got to read to Miss King's classroom. I got lots of hugs, lots of sharing. It's one of my favorite parts about the elementary building are how excited the kids are just to learn and to experience new things and meet new people. So I really appreciated getting invited to do that, and it was a good reminder of my why in education, which is the kids. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Early. And I just want to say, too, I forgot that part. I'm sorry. But yeah, I had the opportunity of being at Thorough Park myself. And I don't know if everybody knows this, but they also reach out to not only Board of Education, but our superintendent, our administration, community, elected officials. It's just, you know, when some of these board meetings are very difficult, to be able to see, again, like you said, the why of what we do, and again, seeing the staff in the buildings and working so hard. So yes, that too, being able to go read at Thorough Park. Treasurer?
I do not have anything tonight.
Okay, and I do not think we have a Parma Council of PTA report tonight. So that takes us now to public comments for items on the agenda. So this is the invitation to the public to address the Board of Education with comments concerning agenda items to be adopted this evening. So at this point, we are going to open up the meeting to the public to address the board on tonight's agenda items. I don't think I have to ask if we have any requests to be heard forms, because I think I have them right here. Is that, oh, we have more. Okay, on agenda items. Okay. Oh, okay, okay. Okay, but this is the right one. So Kevin Kusmal, are you speaking tonight? Okay. Oh, yeah, and it's just 1 second, Mr. Kusmal, before you speak. Just, I didn't go through our typicals, but I'll just do the shortened version, so you have 3 minutes to speak. Please just address the presiding officer. Thank you. Oh, is it on?
I think it is now. Thank you, Madam President. I also attended the pierogi dinner, and it was a success, as it always is, for the district. I'm speaking on the discussion that was in relation to the live streaming resolution. For the background of the live streaming, 9 years ago when I was on the board, it was, in fact, live streamed back then and prior. And when I left the board at that time did move the meeting times to 7 p.m., but they did go to Facebook Live, and that was the prerogative of that board. Board meetings have fluctuated from 5:30 to 7, but I was shocked that there was not just a discussion, that there was a resolution to move the meeting times. I think a discussion is always good. Board Member Kerpeck, Madam President, cited that she brought this forward because an earlier time accommodated her schedule, and there was a discussion around that. I would argue a 5 o'clock board meeting is difficult for many members of the public to attend. It's difficult, especially with, as board members mentioned, with children, and taking into consideration that if you have a work session, you're looking at a 4 p.m. start time, most likely, unless you're scheduling it on another date. So a 5 o'clock board time, I believe, would not provide the public the chance to see this body in progress and to be present for it. With transparency being something that this board has worked for, and many boards have worked for, I think that this would be a regression in another direction for not transparency. So I would ask the board to consider 5 o'clock being too early to start a time. And the time that I have looked, regularly scheduled board meetings previously, there were some exceptions that did start at 5, but common practice was 5:30 to 7 o'clock, ranging in that time frame, given on situations. But a blanket 5 p.m. start with then a 4 o'clock most likely start time for a work session for community members to make it to something like that, I would believe, in my opinion, also as an elected official, would be very difficult for transparency and for public participation. So I would ask the board to take that into consideration if they're going to vote later today, also given the fact that the community really did not have much input in this. There were 3 topics for discussion tonight. 2 of them did not have any resolution attached to it. There was only 1 that did. And under your meetings, you can change the time. But in the effort of transparency for this board, I would ask that you'd maybe get a little more input than changing an hour earlier so the community can still try to participate, given the fact that the meetings are not right now video recorded. They're audio recorded only. But that is what I would like to say. Thank you, Madam President, for the time.
Thank you, Mr. Kusma. I don't think this one is, I think it is. That's what I thought. It got messed up. Okay. Okay, Sharon Physick, I'm sorry.
Good evening, Sharon Fitzik, 6495 Gale Drive, Seven Hills, Ohio. I would like to speak on Resolution 2026-03123, talking about the time change for our Board of Education meetings. I agree that a 5 o'clock meeting may be difficult for some community members to attend. I also agree that 3-hour Board of Education meetings are not productive. With that said, I do appreciate the focus and the reminder that Board of Education members be prepared for our Board of Education meetings. So, could we consider a resolution to plan a time to limit board discussions? I am not sure what that would look like. Obviously, I do not know the answer to this question. I'm just suggesting a possible solution to solve the problem of our lengthy Board of Education meetings. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Physick. Heather Akechi.
Good evening, Heather Akechi, 2716 Ingleside Drive, 44134. So you all know me, and I wear many different hats. I want to speak about the Resolution 2026-03-123. Tonight I am here as a community member and a parent. In my many years in the district, I have attended many board meetings at many different times. And as a community member, I feel that the decision about what time the board should meet should be up to the discretion of the board and what works best for them. As a community member, I make the adjustment when I need to be here and I feel I need to be there. And I'm hoping that other community members can work with that aspect too, where the focus should be on what business you guys need to do at hand versus making sure that everybody in our, how many thousands of people and parents in this district can be here. So please, I also want to state that work sessions have started as early as 4:30 at times, so it's not a difference of if you moved it to 4 or that thing. It's not asking for a 12 o'clock work session. And also being able to, as mentioned, having the work session or your executive sessions on another evening or opportunities that should be looked into. But obviously, my number one support is that whatever decision you make should be the discretion of what the majority of the board members can work with. Thank you.
Thank you, Mrs. Akachi. Thank you to everybody who spoke tonight. At this time, we are going to, I'm sorry. I move to adopt, we are going to move into executive session. So
I'm sorry, can I stop you, Mrs.
Yep,
Sebastian?
yep.
Since Mr. Reyes made.
Oh, that's right, our resolution. I
motion, so
apologize. Yeah,
Could we vote on that because that's what his motion was?
I apologize. I was just running down the list and I forgot that that resolution was there. Okay, so I have to go back to that resolution number, right? Let me see.
23.
Okay. It's 123, you said? Yep, I got it. Okay, so I move to adopt Resolution 2026-03-123, board meeting time change.
Second?
We have a motion and a second to adopt Resolution 2026-03-123. Are there any questions or comments from the board?
I just wanted to reiterate my previous opinion on this, that I'm very much in support of this. I also appreciate what Dr. Early had mentioned about possibly scheduling work sessions and scheduling executive sessions on different days. I obviously heard the concern about having a 4 o'clock work session, which was, never anything we ever had said would happen, but I just wanted to reiterate that we could most definitely have those on different days, and I would be in support of that as well. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Kerpick. Okay, roll call, please, Mr. Nucio.
Mrs. Sebastian,
Yes.
Ms. Kerpick,
Yes.
Dr. Early,
Yes.
Mr. Reyes.
No.
Resolution 2026- It is now 8:13 p.m., and we will reconvene the March 12th, 2026 Parma City School District Board of Education meeting. I move to adopt Resolution 2026-03-125, Board Resolution to approve the tentative agreement between the Parma City School District Board of Education and the Ohio Association of Public School Employees, Safety and Security, Local 405.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to adopt Resolution 2026-03-125. Are there any questions or comments from the board? Roll call, please, Mr. Nucio.
Mrs. Sebastian,
Yes.
Ms. Kerpick,
Yes.
Dr. Early,
Yes.
Mr. Reyes.
Yes.
Resolution 2026-03-125 has been approved. So we are at nope, we just did old business.
With curriculum.
Yeah, so there's no items for business tonight, is that correct?
Correct.
Okay, so now we are at curriculum, which is me. So let me get there. Oh, it's you. Did it change? I have the wrong. Okay. All right, curriculum, Dr. Early.
Thank you. All right, I motion to, sorry, my script is not,
Is it this one right here?
126.
I know I have that, but
Yeah, I motioned, or I moved to adopt Resolution 2026. Thank you. Thank you, Brittany.
I move to adopt Resolution 2026-03-126, approval of Effective Leadership Academy materials for summer school program.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to adopt Resolution 2026-03-126. Are there any questions or comments from the board? Roll call, please, Mr. Nucio.
Dr. Early,
Yes.
Ms. Kerpick,
Yes.
Mr. Reyes,
Yes.
Mrs. Sebastian,
Yes. Resolution 2026-03-126 has been approved.
I move to adopt Resolution 2026-03-127, approval to increase First Step Preschool Peer Model student tuition and establish tuition for Kindergarten Launch Academy within First Step Preschool.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to adopt Resolution 2026-03-127. Are there any questions or comments from the board? Roll call, please, Mr. Nucio.
Dr. Early,
Yes.
Ms. Kerpick,
Yes.
Mr. Reyes,
Yes.
Mrs. Sebastian,
Yes. Resolution 2026-03-127 has been approved.
I move to adopt Resolution 2026-03-128, approval of overnight out-of-state field trip for the Normandy High School Wrestling District Tournament on March 8th.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to adopt Resolution 2026-03-128. Are there any questions or comments from the board? Roll call, please, Mr. Nucio.
Dr. Early,
Yes.
Ms. Kerpick,
Yes.
Mr. Reyes,
Yes.
Mrs. Sebastian,
Yes. Resolution 2026-03-128 has been approved.
I move to adopt Resolution 2026-03-129, granting authority to the administration to enter into a contract Kids Link for the 2025-2026 school year.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to adopt Resolution 2026-03-129. Are there any questions and comments from the board? Roll call, please, Mr. Nucio.
Dr. Early,
Yes.
Ms. Kerpick,
Yes.
Mr. Reyes,
Yes.
Mrs. Sebastian,
Yes. Resolution 2026-03-129 has been approved.
I move to adopt Resolution 2026-03-130, granting authority to the administration to enter into a contract with the family for the 2025-2026 school year.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to adopt Resolution 2026-03-130. Are there any questions or comments from the board? Roll call, please, Mr. Nucio.
Dr. Early,
Yes.
Ms. Kerpick,
Yes.
Mr. Reyes,
Yes.
Mrs. Sebastian,
Yes. Resolution 2026-03-130 has been approved.
I move to adopt Resolution 2026-03-131, approval of an overnight field trip to Toledo, Ohio on April 16th through 17th, 2026.
Second?
We have a motion and a second to adopt Resolution 2026-03-131. Are there any questions or comments from the board? Roll call, please, Mr. Nucio.
Dr. Early,
Yes.
Ms. Kerpick,
Yes.
Mr. Reyes,
Yes.
Mrs. Sebastian,
Yes. Resolution 2026-03-131 has been approved.
I move to adopt Resolution 2026-03-132, approval of overnight out-of-state field trip to Nashville, Tennessee on May 6th through May 10th, 2026.
Second?
We have a motion and a second to adopt Resolution 2026-03-132. Are there any questions and comments from the board? Roll call, please, Mr. Nucio.
Dr. Early,
Yes.
Ms. Kerpick,
Yes.
Mr. Reyes,
Yes.
Mrs. Sebastian,
Yes. Resolution 2026-03-132 has been approved.
I move to adopt Resolution 2026-03-133, approval of Memorandum of Understanding between College Credit Plus Program, the Parma City School District, and Cuyahoga Community College.
Second?
We have a motion and a second to adopt Resolution 2026-03-133. Are there any questions or comments from the board? Roll call, please, Mr. Nucio.
Dr. Early,
Yes.
Ms. Kerpick,
Yes.
Mr. Reyes,
Yes.
Mrs. Sebastian,
Yes. Resolution 2026-03-133 has been approved.
I move to adopt Resolution 2026-03-134, approval of memorandum of understanding between Credit College Plus Program, the Parma City School District, and Kent State University.
Second?
We have a motion and a second to adopt Resolution 2026-03-134. Are there any questions or comments from the board? Roll call, please, Mr. Nucio.
Dr. Early,
Yes.
Ms. Kerpick,
Yes.
Mr. Reyes,
Yes.
Mrs. Sebastian,
Yes. Resolution 2026-03-134 has been approved.
I move to adopt Resolution 2026-03-135, approval of an overnight out-of-state field trip for the Normandy High School Marching Band to Disney World on March 20th through 27th, 2027.
Second?
We have a motion and a second to adopt Resolution 2026-03-135. Are there any questions or comments from the board? Roll call, please, Mr. Nucio.
Dr. Early,
Yes.
Ms. Kerpick,
Yes.
Mr. Reyes,
Yes.
Mrs. Sebastian,
Yes. Resolution 2026-03-135 has been approved.
Do any other board members have anything further to discuss regarding curriculum this evening? This concludes curriculum.
Thank you. I'm sorry, just be patient with us for 1 second. Okay, that moves us to finance. Is it you, Mr. Reyes?
Yes. Thank you, Ms. Sebastian. I move to adopt Resolution 2026-03-136, approval of supplemental appropriations.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to adopt Resolution 2026-03-136. Are there any questions or comments from the board? Roll call, please, Mr. Nucio.
Mr. Reyes,
Yes.
Dr. Early,
Yes.
Mrs. Sebastian,
Yes. Resolution 2026-03-136 has been approved.
I move to adopt Resolution 2026-03-137, ratification of investments.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to adopt Resolution 2026-03-137. Are there any questions or comments from the board? Roll call, please, Mr. Nucio.
Mr. Reyes.
Yes.
Dr. Early.
Yes.
Mrs. Sebastian.
Yes. Resolution 2026-03-137 has been approved.
I move to adopt Resolution 2026-03-138, authorizing filing of complaint against evaluation of real property for tax year 2025 against permanent parcel number 441-27-001.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to adopt Resolution 2026-03-138. Are there any questions or comments from the board? Roll call, please, Mr. Nucio.
Mr. Reyes.
Yes.
Dr. Early.
Yes.
Mrs. Sebastian.
Yes. Resolution 2026-03-138 has been approved.
I move to adopt Resolution 2026-03-139, authorizing filing of complaint against evaluation of real property for tax year 2025 against permanent parcel number 442-13-001.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to adopt Resolution 2026-03-139. Are there any questions or comments from the board? Roll call, please, Mr. Nucio.
Mr. Reyes.
Yes.
Dr. Early.
Yes.
Mrs. Sebastian.
Yes. Resolution 2026-03-139 has been approved.
I move to adopt Resolution 2026-03-140, authorizing filing of complaint against evaluation of real property for tax year 2025 against permanent parcel number 444-23-026.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to adopt Resolution 2026-03-140. Are there any questions or comments from the board? Roll call, please, Mr. Nucio.
Mr. Reyes.
Yes.
Dr. Early.
Yes.
Mrs. Sebastian.
Yes. Resolution 2026-03-140 has been approved.
I move to adopt Resolution 2026-03-141, authorizing filing of complaint against evaluation of real property for tax year 2025 against permanent parcel number 442-33-006.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to adopt Resolution 2026-03-141. Are there any questions or comments from the board? Roll call, please, Mr. Nucio.
Mr. Reyes.
Yes.
Dr. Early.
Yes.
Mrs. Sebastian.
Yes. Resolution 2026-03-141 has been approved.
I move to adopt Resolution 2026-03-142, authorizing filing of complaint against evaluation of real property for tax year 2025 against permanent parcel number 552-25-037 and 552-25-048.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to adopt Resolution 2026-03-142. Are there any questions or comments from the board? Roll call, please, Mr. Nucio.
Mr. Reyes.
Yes.
Dr. Early.
Yes.
Mrs. Sebastian.
Yes. Resolution 2026-03-142 has been approved.
I move to adopt Resolution 2026-03-143, resolution accepting the amounts and rates as determined by the Budget Commission and authorizing the necessary tax levies and certifying them to the county fiscal officer.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to adopt Resolution 2026-03-143. Are there any questions or comments from the board? Roll call, please, Mr. Nucio.
Mr. Reyes.
Yes.
Dr. Early.
Yes.
Mrs. Sebastian.
Yes. Resolution 2026-03-143 has been approved.
I move to adopt Resolution 2026-03-144, a resolution declaring this board's intent to implement certain budget cuts and cease collection of a certain ad valorem property tax levies for certain years upon approval by the school district's electors at the election to be held on May 5th, 2026, of the question of a 1.75% school district income tax on the earned income of individuals residing in the school district for a continuing period of time effective January 1, 2027.
I second approving the resolution as amended.
We have a motion and a second to adopt Resolution 2026-03-144 as amended. Are there any questions or comments from the board? Roll call, please, Mr. Nucio.
Mr. Reyes.
Yes.
Dr. Early.
Yes.
Mrs. Sebastian.
Yes. Resolution 2026-03-144 has been approved.
Do any other board members have any items to discuss for finance? This concludes finance.
Thank you, Mr. Reyes. We'll now move to Human Resources with Dr. Early.
I move to adopt Resolution 2026-03-145, approval of the following certificated exhibits: confirmation of certificated replacements, confirmation of stipend amounts, confirmation of supplemental appointments, approval of certificated non-compensated leaves of absences, acceptance of certificated resignations.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to adopt Resolution 2026-03-145. Are there any questions or comments from the board? Roll call, please, Mr. Nucio.
Dr. Early.
Yes.
Mr. Reyes.
Yes.
Mrs. Sebastian.
Yes. Resolution 2026-03-145 has been approved.
I move to adopt Resolution 2026-03-146, acceptance of certificated retirements.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to adopt Resolution 2026-03-146. Are there any questions or comments from the board? Roll call, please, Mr. Nucio.
Dr. Early.
Yes.
Mr. Reyes.
Yes.
Mrs. Sebastian.
Yes. Resolution 2026-03-146 has been approved.
I move to adopt Resolution 2026-03-147, approval of the following classified exhibits: confirmation of classified replacements, confirmation of classified changes, acceptance of classified resignations, approval of classified non-compensated leaves of absence.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to adopt Resolution 2026-03-147. Are there any questions or comments from the board? Roll call, please, Mr. Nucio.
Dr. Early.
Yes.
Mr. Reyes.
Yes.
Mrs. Sebastian.
Yes. Resolution 2026-03-147 has been approved.
I move to adopt Resolution 2026-03-148, approval of OSHAA girls and boys basketball playoff workers' rates.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to adopt Resolution 2026-03-148. Are there any questions or comments from the board? Roll call, please, Mr. Nucio.
Dr. Early.
Yes.
Mr. Reyes.
Yes.
Mrs. Sebastian.
Yes. Resolution 2026-03-148 has been approved.
I move to adopt Resolution 2026-03-149, approval of classified long-term leaves of absence in accordance with provisions of ORC 3309.41.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to adopt Resolution 2026-03-149. Are there any questions or comments from the board? Roll call, please, Mr. Nucio.
Dr. Early.
Yes.
Mr. Reyes.
Yes.
Mrs. Sebastian.
Yes. Resolution 2026-03-149 has been approved.
I move to adopt Resolution 2026-03-150, authorization to release from employment during probationary period classified employee.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to adopt Resolution 2026-03-150. Are there any questions or comments from the board? Roll call, please, Mr. Nucio.
Dr. Early.
Yes.
Mr. Reyes.
Yes.
Mrs. Sebastian.
Yes. Resolution 2026-03-150 has been approved.
Do any other board members have anything further to discuss regarding human resources tonight? This concludes human resources.
Thank you, Dr. Early. You're taking policy too. So, Dr. Early, policies. Thank you.
I move to adopt Resolution 2026-03-151, approval of the following revised policies. Policy 5112, entrance requirements. Policy 5223, release time for religious instruction during the school day.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to adopt Resolution 2026-03-151. Are there any questions or comments from the board? Roll call, please, Mr. Nucio.
Dr. Early.
Yes.
Mr. Reyes.
Yes.
Mrs. Sebastian.
Yes. Resolution 2026-03-151 has been approved.
I move to adopt Resolution 2026-03-152, approval of the following revised policies. Rescind Policy 2260-03, Notice of Non-Discrimination and Compliant Procedures, including Title II, Title 6, Title 7, Title 8, and Section 504.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to adopt Resolution 2026-03-152. Are there any questions or comments from the board? Roll call, please, Mr. Nucio.
Dr. Early.
Yes.
Mr. Reyes.
Yes.
Mrs. Sebastian.
Yes. Resolution 2026-03-152 has been approved.
I move to adopt Resolution 2026-03-153, approval of the following new policies. Policy 2431-06, name, image, and likeness, NIL, and athletics.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to adopt Resolution 2026-03-153. Are there any questions or comments from the board? Roll call, please, Mr. Nucio.
Dr. Early.
Yes.
Mr. Reyes.
Yes.
Mrs. Sebastian.
Yes. Resolution 2026-03-153 has been approved.
Do any other board members have anything further to discuss regarding policy tonight? That concludes policies.
Thank you, Dr. Early. We are now going to move to any information that is requested by board members. Seeing none, we are going to move into our public comment portion of our meeting. So just before we get started, the Parma City School District Board of Education is a decision-making body. We value community input and appreciate those who have taken the time to participate this evening. We will now move to the agenda item, public comments. Public participation is welcome, and any concern dealing with education in the Parma City School District may be addressed at this time. Public comment is intended to allow the board to listen. The board will not engage in dialogue or debate during this portion of the meeting. When recognized, speakers state their name and address for the record and direct all remarks to the board president. Each speaker will be allotted 3 minutes with a maximum of 30 minutes total for public participation. A timer will be used to ensure fairness, order, and consistency. I will indicate when your time is concluded and will provide a visual sign, or one of us will provide a visual sign, when 15 seconds remain if needed. Once the 3 minutes have ended, the speaker must stop. This will be adhered to, and we will not allow for any extra time, just making sure that we have equity across the board. This time limit will be enforced uniformly and without exception in accordance with the board policy 0169.1. Request to be heard forms are required to be submitted in advance by completing a request to be heard form and submitting it in person to the administrative secretary. Only those who have completed this process will be permitted to speak. Individuals may not register others to speak during public comment. Administration may attempt to answer questions at the conclusion of a speaker's comments. However, in many cases, additional information may be needed to fully address a concern. Questions may be referred to the superintendent or the treasurer for further investigation or study. If information is not readily available, a district administrator or appropriate designee may follow up within 72 hours. That 72 hours is a goal. Sometimes there are things that happen within the district that does not allow for administration to get back within that 72-hour time frame. So I just want to make sure we outline that that is a goal. As outlined in Board Policy 0169.1, in some instances, a response may be provided at a future regular meeting. To ensure respectful and productive environment, comments must be directed to the board president. Speakers are asked to refrain from defamatory, obscene, abusive, derogatory, irrelevant, repetitive, or disruptive remarks, including verbal criticism or complaints against any individual employee of the district. Personnel matters and certain student-related issues are governed by board policy, and law cannot be addressed in a public forum. The presiding officer may terminate a speaker's privilege of address if, after being called to order, the speaker persists in improper conduct or remarks. Individuals who do not adhere to these expectations may be asked to stop speaking and, if necessary, to leave the meeting. If a speaker is unable to complete their comments within the allotted time, additional information may be shared with board members via email. At this time, we will proceed with public comment. When called, please come to the microphone. And again, it will be limited to a total of 30 minutes due to the board's scheduled executive session this evening. We will have to tightly adhere to that. So with that being said, I am calling up Jennifer Juggler.
Clerk, 6831 Greenbrier Drive, Parma Heights. I would like to make it clear that I'm speaking as an individual this evening. Good evening. I would like to take a moment to sincerely thank school board members, President Sebastian, Vice President Kerpick, Board Member Dr. Early, and Board Member Reyes, who visited my classroom last month. Your presence meant a great deal not only to me as an educator, but especially to the students who had the opportunity to interact with you. When students see the individuals responsible for guiding and supporting their schools take an active interest in their learning, it sends a powerful message. Your visit showed them that their education matters and that the leaders in our district truly value the work happening in our classrooms each day. It reinforced for them that public education is important and they have people advocating for their success. I would also like to extend an open invitation to Mr. McTaggart, who wasn't able to be there, and you guys as well, to please attend any time that you would like. Our classroom would be honored to welcome you in the future so you can experience firsthand the learning, curiosity, and enthusiasm our students bring each day. Thank you again for your time, your support, and your continued dedication to promoting and strengthening public education. It truly makes a difference for our students and our community. Thank you for your time.
Thank you, Ms. Juggler. Next, we have Martin Stancic.
I have a loud voice, so can I just sit here rather than go up there?
Yeah, so in order to have, and for access, I mean, is that okay? For recording, yeah. For recording purposes, they ask that you come up here, Mr. Stancic. I apologize.
I will learn to sit in the front row next time.
Martin Stancic, 5500 Lawrence Drive. I hear a lot about transparency, and as I asked at the last meeting, I would just like to have a definition, a letter from you guys in terms of what Parma schools consider transparency. Transparency can be many things. I just want to know from the school board or from the school what their definition is. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Stanczyk. Brenda Mitchell.
Brenda Mitchell, 5004 Torrington. Hello again, board. I loved listening in on these KLA program changes tonight. Why was there not this amount of care and discussion given to the PAGE program? I hope you all know and understand how hurtful and downright disrespectful it is as a PAGE parent to sit here and realize how little thought was given to cutting our program. I thought that by tonight, there might be a formal announcement when it comes to the vote by the board on February 12th. There hasn't been any recognition that this vote did pass by the board or by the administration. Sending an email to select parents about this is doing a disservice to our students and to the rest of our families. It feels very apparent to us that you are delaying any kind of information until the very last minute, not realizing that parents and families need to make these accommodations for their students when it comes to where they will be attending school next year. A lot of enrollment dates for private schools, STEM, other schools are coming up within literally this week or next week, and we haven't gotten a single answer. So we need to figure out what we're doing. You are leaving us with no time to make these decisions. I honestly find it kind of ridiculous that we as parents have to be the ones to come up with the suggestions for this program, whether it be moving the program to another school for the next school year or what the other plans are going to be. The KLA program has an enrollment of 40 students, we learned tonight, over 3 different schools. And look at the amount of care that went into tonight's presentation about the future of the program. They talked to parents, they talked to the teachers, they talked to admin. It was a cohesive and wonderful get together and really taking into consideration what parents and teachers had to say. Never once was that given any thought to the PAGE program. KLA program has been around for about 5 years. PAGE has been it's 3 years now. I would like to end my statement tonight by asking a general question to the board, and feel free to just internalize and assess it at your own time. When you listen back or watch these board meetings, are you embarrassed? Because as a member of this community, I feel embarrassed for you. The level of disrespect, condescension, pettiness, and downright childish behavior that happens at these board meetings make me feel really embarrassed. You, as a board and administration, have lost all respect in our community, and I know that you all see that. We have seen what you think of your community members for firsthand these last 2 months. We haven't gotten any sort of formal apology for how this situation has been handled. We have barely gotten a single straight answer from administration about our program. We're just, at this point, we're disheartened and completely disappointed. That's it.
Thank you, Ms. Mitchell. Marcus Mitchell.
Marcus Mitchell, 5004 Torrington Ave. The more we've come to these meetings, the more I'm realizing how involved we are as parents in this community. We moved to Parma 8 years ago? Yeah, 8 years ago. And from the beginning, we've done everything we can to invest in our child and the community, serving and volunteering on the PTA, being a part of the PTA. It always taught us something. It always showed us how hard it is to get things done. And I always go back to a lesson I think we've all learned when we were in a math class in school. You have to show your work. You can't just jump to the end. You can't just say, hey, this is the conclusion. You have to show your work. And that's what it feels like we've been asking, is can you show your work? Like, jumping to the conclusion hasn't helped anybody. And when we ask you to show your work, when anybody asks you guys to show your work, it never comes off as though it's not a personal thing. You know, you guys serve 5 members to act as one, and it's not one person attacking another. You represent the same organization. And I think the most alarming thing I've seen and felt is getting things done doesn't need to be as hard as it's been. And We live in a time where everything is getting difficult, everything is getting very personal. I take my child's education very personally. His future is what I care about. I don't care about any of your futures on the board. I don't want you to. I want you to care about these kids. At the end of the day, this district needs hope. It needs people looking at the future and saying, this is what we're going to do regardless of if I'm here. And that's a legacy, not saying, yes, I've served as a member of a board for multiple years. Making a difference is about doing something now. And there's a lot of talk of plans, and that's what I keep hearing. And we're voters. We don't want plans. We want decisions. We want things we're actually going to say, yes, that's what we want. Not, okay, I guess, yes, I'll give you permission to think about it some more and make a plan. It's not getting us anywhere. And I look around and I think about all the ways that education was when I grew up. I came up through the school system when standardized testing was first being introduced and how that was an experiment. They weren't sure how that was going to work, but they did it. And things felt more decisive then. It's like right now the court of public opinion seems to have a stronger impact than just facts and doing things in a way that lets people say, hey, I have faith in them because they're just making choices even if they're hard. But back them up. Tell us why you made those choices. Show your work. Because if I remember correctly, you didn't get any points if you didn't show your work. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Mitchell. Liliana, I want to make sure I say that, Jimenez? I'm sorry, correct me again? Okay. Thank you.
Hello, my name is Liliana Jimenez, and my address is 906 Wexford Avenue. I have 3 children here in the PSCD school. My daughter, Nathalia, spoke. She attends Page. Although many parents realize, that this administration has a lack of empathy and attention for our families who attend Page School. First, the board letting the superintendent close a program without a board vote, which goes against his contract, and he should be removed from his position because it goes against
We cannot talk about, I'm sorry, we cannot talk about personnel issues. I'll have to stop you.
That's fine,
Okay.
I can keep going. We would like to say that the Board of Education cannot cancel a program without a vote, and he did cancel the program without the board's vote, and then it was voted, and we are aware that it did pass, and we still haven't heard anything about it. Parents have emailed and asked for meetings, and we try and we keep trying, and we keep trying to see what is going to happen to our children's programs, and we do not hear anything about it. We ask if it can be put in a different school. We ask if there's a curriculum that can be done. We ask if there's any way that we can have our children still have the same type of learning which they are getting at Page, because our children learn at a faster rate because of their scores, because of the way they learn, because they're advanced. And our children cannot just be put into a regular classroom and have 1 hour of gifted services. Our children are our future, and they're questioning us, and they're wondering what is going to happen to their friends and their teachers and the staff there at Page. And we would like to know what is going to happen and what is going to be done for our children, because our children are worried, and it is affecting them emotionally and psychologically because they don't know what's going to happen in their future. And we have to sit there, and we cannot give them any answers because you will not give us any answers. And we need to be able to do that. And use as parents, if a child goes and asks you, Mom, Dad, what is going to happen to our future? You want to give your children an answer. Well, we would like to give our children answers. We would like them to know what is going to happen, because whatever school we send them to, they are not going to get the same education that they are getting now at their schools with their teachers. Just because we send them to a STEM program doesn't mean that they're going to be able to continue to learn at the same pace, at the same rate that they are learning now. Because if you guys don't know, from what their teachers tell us, they are already like almost a year and a half ahead of what their class is at right now. Thank you.
Thank you. Kevin Kusmo.
Thank you, Madam President. I'd like to apologize. I don't think I listed my address when I was up here previously, so 3160 Hetzel Drive, Parma, Ohio. I was unable to attend the work session of the body of this board that was at 5 p.m. today, unfortunately. So I did have some questions about the school district income tax levy that my residents have been asking me, so I'd like to be able to answer them. First one would be for if this levy is passed, when would the renewal of the school district income tax levy be on the ballot? Madam President, I don't know if that's an easy one that Treasurer might be able to answer. I know it's not engaging, but I don't know
Mr.
if that's an
Kusma,
easy
yeah,
one.
so just in fairness, I haven't provided that to anybody tonight.
That's fair.
Public comments for public comment.
That's fair.
We can get back to you in 72 or more hours.
I will try to do my best to attend the community meeting next week. I have several other questions as well, so I will try to be there in person to give those to you guys. I would also like to note, given the current climate right now, Madam President, for this country, I'd like to also offer up, as elected officials in the city, prayers for our military right now, as we're engaging in a war in the Middle East, and I'd like to thank Board Member Ashley McTaggart for her service in the military for this country, and the other members of our community who are also active duty military members. I'd like to acknowledge that and put that up, Madam President. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Kusma. That leads us, that's actually the end of public comment. I do not see any more requests to be heard forms, and we are now going to move into new business. This is an opportunity for the board to bring up any non-agenda items. Do we have any new business?
Ms. Sebastian?
Yes, Mr. Reyes.
Thank you. So I want to talk about the PAGE program. There was an email that went out last week from Dr. Hunt to, I believe this is a PAGE parent. Please correct me if I'm wrong. So this email reads, the board considered a motion regarding PAGE program for the 2026-2027 school year. The motion that was brought forward was to continue the PAGE program, however, it did not specify that the program would remain housed at Parma Park. Because the motion focused on continuing the program itself rather than a specific building location, the discussion was referred to committee for further review. As part of that process, an administrative advisory committee has been created to evaluate the future of the PAGE program and determine how it can be structured moving forward. What is important for families to know is that the intent of the motion was to continue the PAGE program for the 2026-2027 school year. The current discussions are focused on how and where the program will be implemented, not whether the program itself will continue. The committee will review options so we can remain supportive of students moving forward. So I just wanted to see what, where are we at with this situation in the advisory committee?
Who are you directing your comments to?
Dr. Hunt, sorry. Thank you.
I believe Dr. Cruz has scheduled a meeting for next Tuesday to meet with the advisory group.
So is the purpose of this committee to figure out how we're going to continue this program in a different building, or if we're going to continue the program?
I think that's the discussion that the committee is going to have.
So it's both of those?
I think the agenda for that committee is to discuss the PAGE program and what does it look like as we head into next year.
Okay. So is this acknowledgement of my motion, that the motion passed? Am I taking this appropriately?
I think that's what it says there.
Okay, okay. So I appreciate that. Thank you, Dr. Hunt. So the purpose of the motion is merely a directive, and after that motion is approved, we're supposed to figure out the details in a resolution. And I took some time to put together a resolution, and I would like my board members and administration to take a look at it, review it. Please let me know what your thoughts are, and I would like to have it on our next agenda.
Mr. Reyes, so you want to put the resolution on the agenda for the next meeting? So the process for that would be actually working with myself. That's how, so just so you know, Ms. Kerpick, when she did not create the resolution herself, that's something that has to go through the process. So the resolution that was adopted tonight went through the treasurers. We worked with Mr. Nucio to develop that resolution. So I don't believe that's a resolution that you would actually create yourself. We can have a discussion on what that would look like if that's, but I would also go to say the discussion really needs to be that I would, again, go to say this is not something that we'd have to have further discussions on, but this is not something that we have said repeatedly that this is not something that is within the board's our governance as far as a program is concerned. So we would have to, I mean, just having that resolution tonight would not be putting it on the agenda. We would have to have a discussion on what that would look like. But it wouldn't be, it really would not be a resolution because that's not something that's within our governance.
So all I'm asking is for the board to look at what I put together,
We can take a look at
provide
it.
any feedback,
Sure.
and I would like for it to be added to the agenda.
And what I'm saying is that would not be a resolution to add to the agenda.
So Dr. Hunt just acknowledged that the motion did pass.
That's right.
And now it's the board's job to figure out how that motion is to be carried out.
Yeah, we discussed that. So I think Dr. Hunt just replied on how that is occurring.
It's the board's job to figure out how that motion is to be carried out.
You made a motion to save the PAGE program.
To continue the PAGE program.
It was I listened to it many times, to save the program
To
for the
continue the program.
2026-2027 school year. And at that meeting, we said that it was going to committee, and it was already there. Dr. Cruz had already said that there were already things in motion. Is that correct? Right? So she is carrying that out, and that is for administration to carry out. That is not a board decision.
Which meeting are you referring to where I made the motion to continue the program?
The meeting before last meeting, it was 2 meetings ago.
I think that'd be February 12th.
So the original motion that I made, which Dr. Hunt referred to in the email, was to continue, and this is in the email, to continue the PAGE program for the 2026-2027 school year. All I'm asking is for the board to take a look at what I put together, provide your thoughts. And administration, not just the board, administration too.
Yeah,
I gave Dr. Hunt a copy of it.
We can take a look at it, and I would also say that I would like to also talk to the board attorney, and I'd like you to be a part of that conversation so you understand where I'm coming from with how the resolutions, what becomes a resolution and what doesn't, and what the motions are.
Sure.
So I would like
Thank
to
you.
so we definitely can look at that.
Thank you, I appreciate it.
Okay.
Here you go.
Thank you, Mr. Reyes.
You're
May
welcome.
I ask something? Mr. Reyes, I'm happy to look over it. When would you like feedback by?
As soon as possible,
Okay,
before next meeting preferably.
okay, so
Yeah, he has one. Mhm.
I'll follow up with you
Thank you.
sometime next week.
Thank you. That's all I have, Ms. Sebastian. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Reyes. We are now going into executive session. I move to adopt Resolution 2026-03-154 to adjourn to the executive session relative to negotiations, PEA.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to adopt Resolution 2026-03-154. Are there any questions or comments from the board? Roll call, please, Mr. Nucio.
Mrs. Sebastian,
Yes.
Dr. Early,
Yes.
Mr. Reyes.
Yes.
Be it resolved that the Board of Education of the Parma City School District hereby adjourns to executive session at
9:02.
9:02 p.m. Relative to personnel matters to consider, no, I'm sorry, that's wrong. I don't know why that's on there. To negotiations. We are now in executive session.